violence, too much pain, but I have an honorable compromise. Just walk away. Join me. Join me and give me all your subs. Give me all your views. Be part of the indie comics revolution, and I will spare you. Do not be part of the problem, but be part of the solution. Listen to Lord Humongous. The indie comics revolution is underway. So walk away from the big two. Just walk away and join the revolt.
Oh, yes. Join the revolt, my friends. Yes, here comes the little attack killer dog. Yes, Rocky, it is me, CB Smallwood, here with you on this, I guess it's Sunday morning where I'm at. And so good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you happen to be. You are watching, of course, Sketching Past Midnight Live. It's in the ticker. That's the name of the show, Sketching Past Midnight Live. It's where we talk about all things comics, sci-fi, horror, fantasy, pop culture, and everything in between. And I am your host, in case you didn't know, CB Smallwood. And today, we're going to be talking about the Wildcat Anthology. I got a little bit of interesting, weird, odd, strange, and most delicious news served up for you. Maybe not that delicious, but still, it'd be like on a scale of deliciousness, it'd be like cracking up a walnut on a concrete block with a hammer, getting the walnut out. Yeah, it's tasty, but then you get that little bits of walnut in with it because you didn't pick it out good. So that's kind of like the news that I got for you. I also have armed myself with a snack to enjoy on air because I am hungry. I love these. Uncle Ray's is the man. He makes some pretty good chips, Uncle Ray's. And I love the hot flavored chips. You can only eat a handful before you're on fire. And on the back of every one of Uncle Ray's chips, he has a personal story that nobody reads but me, because I like to read. I was at chapter 19. He's never gone past chapter 19. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't have the previous chapters. But according to Uncle Ray here, I was a cook in the Navy. We had a good crew, mostly. But Russo was from Brooklyn, and he had that kind of bad attitude. The morning crew chief took him to a task for throwing out leftover breakfast hash browns. "What else am I supposed to do with them?" Russo snapped. The chief said, "Look, stupid. What you have left over from breakfast, we could use for soup for lunch." Russo turned red as a beet, and he didn't say anything. But sure enough, after we had pancakes for breakfast the next morning, bits of them were floating in the soup for lunch at noon. Well, that wasn't exactly what the chief had in mind, and he chewed Russo out for what seemed like 5 minutes. Russo was in a stew, and he cut loose with the other cooks and me the next day, cussing the chief up one side of the gallery and down the other. What he didn't know was that the chief was in the pantry taking inventory about 15 feet away. We tried to tell Russo, but he was on a roll. When Russo finally cooled down, one of us yelled to the chief and asked if he had heard Russo. There was silence, and we all waited for the explosion. Nothing happened until finally the chief said, "Yep." And that was it. From then on, with the group of us, it was smooth sailing. It says at the bottom of these bag of chips, respect. Follow the rules. Treat your superiors and co-workers with respect. No. Respect has to be earned. You don't just give it. I mean, I think you should be nice to people as a given. But respect needs to be earned. Letting bygones be bygones. I'm fine with that. No sense in holding grudges. And we got a picture here of Uncle Ray. Can't really see him good. Good old Uncle Ray and his delicious chips that we're going to enjoy this evening. I sent the cat signal out on Twitter, invited everybody to come and play. If they so choose, maybe no one will. That's fine with me. I just kind of wanted to gab a little bit and kind of fill people in on everything that's going on and stuff with the Wildcat Anthology comic that is funded on Indiegogo, which you can still bam and get your own copy. Since I sit up, I better raise this up, hadn't I? So to get started with tonight, our most excellent friend Sideburn says, "Hey CB, oh gosh, these chips smell funny. These smell weird, like they're old. They can't be old." The 27th of September of 2021. That's old, isn't it? Well, I'll eat them. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's get into the news of the day. Hopefully, I can cue everything up properly. All right. Hopefully, we got this working good. I think we do. So, this comes to you courtesy of the AP News. And this was of August the 31st, so just a couple of days ago. Box of reptiles mailed to the wrong address in New York. So in Port Chester, New York, they're going to repeat the headline again. I always hate that. You know, you already said it once in the title. Now you're going to repeat it again in the paragraph. It's like it's a way to puff a piece up, fill it out, you know, when you don't have enough words to do it. Several live lizards were wrongly delivered to a residence in Village North of New York City. Needless to say, the address was quite startled when they opened the box. Port Chester police wrote on Facebook. Police received the call about reptiles just after noon on Saturday. They posted a picture on Sunday of the 3 dark-colored lizards held in a large white container. It was not immediately clear whether there were more reptiles not pictured. If you lost your lizards and iguanas, we have them at the police department. Gee golly, police wrote. They said that they held the animals until a local animal sanctuary could pick them up for safekeeping. Well, good to know. I tell you right now, the police around here would not keep the reptiles. They would, the most that they would do is drive down the road and throw them off the side of the hill. If you're lucky. Let's see. We still got more news to hit you with if I can get everything centered. So this next story is about a bomb shelter. Those are good. And we don't know that YouTube is not going to promote this video now. But hey, cut me some slack because it's not what you think. Again, another AP story. This comes August the 25th of this year. Some like it hot. Eating spicy in China's World War II shelters. And here we get a fantastic picture of a such and such shelter. Let's go through some of these photos. I think it's pretty cool. Oh, we have to do that now? Make sure we're still looking at it. Yeah, we are. Okay. I don't never trust technology, you know. Just because I can flip on this doesn't mean it's going to, flip from what you see on your screen. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'd eat there. So this is a bomb shelter here. Nice. Well, yeah, you can tell. It's kind of got those vibes. But, I always like it when we can take things that are old and repurpose them for a new use instead of just, casting them aside and doing nothing with it. Okay, let's find out about eating spicy in China's World War II shelters. Chongqing, China, the city of Chongqing, dubbed one of China's 4 furnace cities, is known for both soaring temperatures and spicy cuisine. Notably, its hot pot, there we go, a peppery, bubbling tablecloth broth into which diners dunk bite-sized pieces of food to cook and eat. The inland metropolis on the Yangtze or Yahtzee River has the perfect escape to enjoy a hot pot, even what has been a summer of unusually stifling heat. World War II era air raid shelters converted into restaurants where the temperatures is naturally cooler. Locals call it the cave hot pot. Chongqing was temporarily capital of China during the World War II as Japanese invasion drove the government out of the then capital Nanjing, and occupied eastern China. Later, Chiang Kai-shek, the military, foreign diplomats, and others set up in what was the remote city in the southwest. At the South air raid sirens, residents crowded into the often dark shelters dug into the hilly cityscape to protect people and military weapons. Thousands died in Japanese aerial bombing attacks. Today, the stone arched doorways of the former shelters still dot the city. Some have become cafes, mahjong parlors, which I think that's a game, and others, such as restaurants. Red Chinese characters hang over one entrance, and its stonework half hidden by a refrigerated drinks display case and stacked up plastic chairs. The characters read Cave Pavilion Hot Pot, founded in 1989. And yeah. So that's pretty much that. That's pretty cool. They made use of that. Look at the pictures one more time. I just think it's pretty cool. I like to see new things and experience new things, and then I like to go back to the comfort of my home and to recharge and process what I've seen and experienced. Pretty cool. Now, I do have one more story here to share with you all. And I've actually had this for a while, but I always forget to share it. But not tonight. Tonight, we're finally going to delve into this unfortunate incident, which there's not much to say. Maybe there is much to say. I just think that it's fascinating. It could be like a something that you can read into human nature. So there you go. There's the caption. There's the picture. Man suffers heart attack, dies at work. Co-workers gather for a group selfie thinking he'd fallen asleep. So, I don't know. Every once in a while you run across something on social media, Twitter especially, and it really makes you think. It really gets you going. It's like, If you're like me, you end up screenshotting it and you're saving it for later. That later never comes. You don't know what you're going to use it for, but it's something that really touches you in some way. Well, I don't want to say that this touched me, but it made me go, There's a guy who woke up one morning to go to work. And what kind of job does he work at? Some comfy looking chairs, and they're kind of designed. If you look on the far right, you see that green chair there. It looks like it's designed for long work hours. The difference between a gamer chair and a worker chair is a gamer chair is largely designed for looks. It's made to look really, really cool, but a lot of them are not actually comfortable. Okay. And workers' chairs are designed to be ugly, but comfortable so you can work very, very long hours. And here's this guy wakes up one morning. Was he late for work? Did he arrive on time? Did he have a bad day starting out, or was it a good day? What was his commute to work like? What kind of music was he listening to? Was he listening to talk radio? Some of his favorite, political commentators? Was he just listening to one of those morning shows that's just like gag you, they're so happy? I don't know. Maybe he didn't listen to anything. Maybe he just enjoyed the silence from his house, his apartment or whatever, to where he's going. Did he carpool? The other people ride with him? I don't know. Now, some of you might be saying, CB, why do I want to know all this? I don't know. Why don't you want to know about this? I mean, this guy's dead now, and like his picture is social media fodder, Everybody having their reactions to it. But I just think about, what kind of day did this guy have on his way to work? His last day on this planet as a living, breathing being, before he transitioned into something else that didn't require a so-called licensed medical professional to do it. And he shows up to work. Did he grab a coffee? Is he a coffee drinker? Did he grab a Coke or a Pepsi? What's his favorite beverage? I don't know. Did he stop at McDonald's on his way? I don't know. He gets there. He sits down, puts his headphones on. He's got his 2 monitors set up, so maybe it's a call center. Maybe he could have been even in the middle of the call. Who knows? But at some point, something happened to him, and he just went away. I had a heart attack, just like that. And everybody thinks he's like dead asleep. Yeah, one of those things is true. And dead asleep. It's just not asleep. And they all, have a good time. Take a picture. Was it break time? Was it time for him to go home? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure all those people felt terrible afterward, I mean, it's pretty cool. It seems very family vibed. It must not have been that stressful of a job. But then again, I don't work there. I don't know. But one last thing. I kind of griped about this in the last video about worker rights and stuff like that. But this is a perfect example of why your workplace is not your family and stuff. I mean, these people are probably nice people. Some of them he may have considered family. But what I mean is your job is not your life. It's just part of your life. It's just a way to make money to provide for yourself and your family and stuff like that. And it doesn't mean you shouldn't do a good job for your employer or anything like that. But there's like this weird thing, in certain parts of the country that I live in where we almost, but not quite, have this Japanese belief in this extreme loyalty to our employers and all this other stuff. And then a lot of the time these people get let go, or when they retire, they don't even get a watch, that gold watch. I don't know. It's interesting. I just think that stuff's interesting. So here we are. We check out any comments that we may have. Cyburns writes, I don't tend to like spicy food. I'm more of a sour kind of guy. I laugh out loud. Yes, I feel like sour food really kicks my butt. It really just grabs me and takes control of the situation. I don't like that. You got to ask permission. Take control for me. I wonder if those other bags of chips are fresh. Well, other bag is from the same date, so oh no. waste of money. I was so excited I got this chocolate milk just for that. So we're like 20 minutes into this now. I figured let's talk about the anthology. So what I'll do is I guess I'll just kind of queue up something for everybody to look at. And so I have some. I've actually got something else pulled up that I was wanting to talk about a little bit. You know, just kind of spitball it, freeball it, and see where the wind blows. But yeah, before we get into that, I think I should talk about the anthology first, so that way that people that are invested in the Wildcat stuff can get in and get out if they want to, and everybody else that's in for the long haul can stick around. Okay, so click, 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 lickety split. Okay, so now you're YouTube fam, Odyssey fam. I love Odyssey. If you're not on Odyssey, by the way, you need to get on it. And I'm getting ready to do a lot more stuff with Odyssey here soon. I'm getting ready to do a lot more stuff here with Odyssey. I'm just preoccupied with, you know, getting the anthology done. So what we're looking at is the Wildcat anthology folder. It's where I got a lot of my files, and I've got files on this computer, files on a memory stick, and files uploaded to the cloud. And I have to do that because I'm very famous for having what you call technical problems. I don't know. It's just weird stuff. This stuff happens to me. And, you know, I guess it's just part of life. I feel like other people don't have to deal with this grief as much as I do, but, or maybe that's just woe is me. So anyway, we got these folders up top. We got Chainsaw Ninjas, which is the Chainsaw Ninjas story that I did. We got the finished files PC, which is the most important file in this thing. We got Gray Tones. That was Robert Johnston who gray toned 20 pages for me. PDF files. That's basically, you know, all the scan files that I had in a folder. And textures. I'll just show you this right quick. It ain't no big deal. But these are just textures that I can upload to Krita or whatever program you like to edit with. And I know you can't see these are clear, but you can put these over top your pages to give them an aged, wrinkly, or stained look. And you can also do the same thing with these. You see these two black images up here and this one down here, where you can actually lower the opacity to do the same thing as these clear ones, and so forth and so on, and what have you. I've got images that I use for inspiration to, you know, get ideas and stuff from. Let's see. Probably won't, I don't know. I don't think you'll be able to see this stuff if I click on it. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at. No. You're not looking at it at all. Oh man, let's do another screen share. Can we do that? But yeah, there's going to be chapter breaks in the comic. So let's say, like, in the comic, you know, you've got the cover, and then you open it up and you see the inside cover, and then you see the first page, which is like the credits or something like that, and then some thank you pages, and then eventually you see the story, the Wildcat Dr. Terror story, right? Which is like the main biscuit, I guess. It's the thing that ties everything together in a cohesive unit. After that gets done, rolling through the first part of it where he starts getting his head drilled into, we get to where he blacks out, and then we see chapter 1, Demons. And that's Robert Johnston's story. And I got inspired by my good buddy Robert because on his book, he's got chapter breaks, but his is actually like very nice. they're very, very nice. Like each chapter break is something different, you know. But I'm kind of crunched for time and all this other stuff, and I want to simplify things. So I kind of did a Jolly Roger here of Wildcat, and each chapter break, you know, has the same kind of font. It says chapter, and then it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. And then down below, it'll have the title of that chapter, right? And let's see. I thought about adding like blood splatter that would gradually cover each new chapter break, but then I forgot to do that, and it's like, is it really that necessary? Sometimes less is more. So that was my thought on that. Our most awesome friend, Abba, is that Yahweh? Yeah, is it YHVH Reigns 7? I love Yeshua. CB, hey, greetings, shalom, or shalom. Same to you, my friend. Same to you. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you both here. For as long as you stick around, I'll keep talking regardless. But yeah, let's continue our journey into this Wildcat Anthology folder and share with you what I've got done and what I'm working on and all that good stuff. So we got inspiration. We've got chapter breaks. I really need to add these chapter breaks into the finish folder, but I think for whatever stupid reason, the chapter breaks might be 72 DPI. Now, honestly, I don't think that's going to hurt anything if they remain that, but I think I'll fix that, you know, in a little bit. But because, like, you know, it's pretty basic. The lettering's pretty big, so it shouldn't hurt anything. But the rest of the pages absolutely have to be 300 DPI, and they have to be TIFF files. TIFF. Let's see. Here's something else. In the process of making stuff, you know, I've been designing t-shirts, hats, all this other stuff. You know, coming up with these cool little logo things. I got a lot of stuff like that I've been cooking together. So going back to this, shoot. Let me see if I can. I have to do this. I'm sorry. I have to get out of the share screen, go back into it. You know, it's like very unfortunate, but you know, this is something that's coming down the road. And you know, a hoodie, it's got the full Wildcat art on it. I think that's pretty badass. It looks very urban. You know, very urban. Very, you know, like somebody that's like a hipster or an artist or somebody that's really into hip hop. This would be their jam right here. Yes, indeed, do. So, there's fan art and stuff in here, and then we got some a lot of Cretophiles and all that crap. Logos, cards, membership thing. Wonder if we can go into the finish files, because I think that'd be something that a lot of you would like to look at. And look here, I've already got it set to where where we can scroll through it. Spoil all the surprises. Everybody can read the comic, not have to buy it. How about that? Look at that. So this is the Dr. Terror story right here. And once you get to this page where he blacks out, remember the chapter break that I showed you a while ago? That's when you would see the chapter break, and then you would see RJ's story, and then we come back to this page, and then this page. No, this page, another chapter break, so forth and so on. So you kind of get the idea. I know it's kind of confusing, but once you see it in print, it'll make better sense. Let me see what my phone's telling me. It's probably nothing important. You're now live on YouTube. Daily Fit, Holistic Chief Nikki in conversation with woman. Okay. Just a type of interesting news I'm looking for. I have to say, in lettering these pages, I felt like I really stepped up my game, and I learned a lot about lettering. I still got a long way to go. My favorite lettering spacing is 60. Like, everything's really tight. They did that in Danger Girl, and also in Heroes Reborn on Captain America. I kind of like that lettering style. And I also like it in 70. I know this don't make any sense, but to anyone that wants to learn, I will show you what I think I know. But 60 and 70 looks really pro to me. And yeah. Learning to do things with sound effects and stuff like that, it's pretty cool. On this big double splash page, I actually wanted to put a big roar sound effect and rumble sound effects in there. But I felt like that I couldn't do it justice, and I don't know, there's a lot of beautiful line work there, so I figure, just leave it be, keep it simple. Here we got Peter and Allison's Wildcat contribution. It's already boxed up, you see, it's taped up, safe. We got this awesome advertisement for Duckling Star. It'll be in the book. And then we've got like this whole big list of, not list, but this whole big pile of ads that I've made for the anthology. You guys and gals want to look at these? What's that? You said, yeah. Well, you're in luck. I will show you. These ads that I've made. I didn't make this one. Of course, I didn't make Duckling Star either. But I didn't make this one. And then RJ Johnston also sent in his ad. Sorry. I can't think. Get on my way, thingamajigger. Right now I'm opening multiple tabs. It just make it that much more easier for me to pull this stuff up later, Okay, shoot. All right, let's see. So here's the first ad. Hoping you can see that pretty good or fairly decent. So what I did was I contacted like 20 or 25 people on Etsy until Etsy blocked my messaging capabilities. And I asked them all, hey, can I create a free ad for you to put in my comic book for free? Which is pretty dumb, smart person be like, want to get paid for it. But here's my logic. Here's why I wanted to do this in the anthology, to break up each different story. I think you need something different in between them to break it up, and so that way it's a shock to the person's system, and it gets them like it. I think it'll help them absorb the comic a lot better and shift gears into something different. And also, I wanted the aesthetic of classic horror magazines and also classic comics from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and early 90s. So I wanted to kind of bring back that feel because to me, I always enjoyed reading the ads. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed reading the ads. I enjoyed reading the letter column. I read every single inch of the comic book. Not a centimeter was overlooked. So I contacted these people, and the ones that told me, yeah, I went ahead and I got started. So I've been working on this for like several days now, knocking out anywhere from 1 to 3 per day. And I tell you what, this is no way easy task. You have to find things on their Etsy that you think people would be really into, like the people that are going to read the Wildcat anthology. So you have to be like, okay, what would these people like? And some of this is stuff that I would personally like, X-Force #1, Wolverine #1, X-Men #1, Wolverine limited series. You got this big USS Flag battleship, which is incomplete for some reason that you can get. You got this cool Captain Power Power On playset, which I hate the word playset. It should be something else. It has to be something different. Boys don't play with play sets. Okay. We I don't know what you want to call it, but it's not the word we would use. And I actually wanted to show, I wanted to cram in there this action figure that the King's Collectibles had of the Sentinel robot for Captain Power and stuff. And do you remember the handgun blasters that you used to have? And you'd point it at the TV. You'd put the cassette in, you put the tape in the VCR, you hit play, and you're supposed to point the blaster at certain points and use it, and then something happens, and if you get killed, like the little guy shoots out. But honestly, I could care less. Like I don't think I knew how to play with it right in the first place. I ended up using like the little Android action figure and playing with my Transformers with it, and like giving him his own personality, and like, I am now leader of the Decepticons. Bow to me, Autobots. That type of thing. Yeah. So, and a lot of them, I tried to include a link to their Etsy and also a link to some of them that had a website. I would also put like right here, King's Collectibles. I got kingscollectibles.net. I got a little nifty thing that says comic toys and cards. And then, I got the first issues of X-Force, Wolverine and X-Men. And, some people may consider that dated. I consider those people pretty lame. And the thing is, a lot of people from our generation, they're going back and they're collecting this stuff. And so the prices are going up on this. The stuff that used to be like printed in bulk is now becoming pretty valuable. I mean, not like super valuable, but this guy's got this Wolverine limited series #1 price for $192, so it has to be some value, Let me answer a few comments before I get into any more of these ads that I've made. pat myself on the back. Look at that big thick arm. Look like a beast. Beast. Abba says, CB, Jehovah, is it Jehovah equals Yahweh, the first letters of the languages sign that hung over Yeshua Christ, which read King of the Jews, Latin, Roman, Hebrew, Greek. You're making me think here. I'm not laughing at what you wrote. I'm just laughing at the fact that my brain's trying to comprehend everything. I understand everything up to the point to Latin, Roman, Hebrew, Greek. So are you saying that the sign that hung over Jesus's head was written both in Latin, Roman, Hebrew, Greek? Or are you saying that the abbreviation of Yahweh or the Yahweh abbreviation is written in Latin, Roman, Hebrew, Greek? I've taken this to a whole new level. I'm trying to figure it out, though. Do you have an email? I can share some illustrations with you. Yeah, sure. I may have one on YouTube. It might be public. Let me think. Let me think on that. Hang on. But I will make myself available to you. I'm just trying to think. Looks good, CB. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I like that. Old comic ads were wild. Yes, they were. They were the bee's knees. So our journey down this CB rabbit hole of advertising continues. So we looked at King's Collectibles. I guess we should start in order. But I feel like I've gotten pretty good at making these boogers. You know, I think this was the first one that I did. And the cool thing about this anthology is like I feel like I've gotten better as an artist, as a writer, inker, letterer, and all this other stuff. I'm not the bee's knees. I'm not the king of the hill. I'm not the cream of the crop, but I could be. But what I am is better. I'm better than how I started before I even got started in the anthology. I'm better then. I'm better now than what I was then. And doing stuff like this helps, you know, doing stuff like drawing the pages, ink the pages, lettering pages. But these advertisements, like I can put these in a portfolio and get work in advertising or something. I'm not saying that I would actually get a job, but why? But maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I would. Maybe I would get a job. I don't know. But yeah. So this was done for a Wild Robot, another Etsy seller. And, you know, I've got all the different masks that he has. Got down here, astounding value. Hard to find vintage masks. We've got Dracula, Wolfman, zombies, wrestlers, witches, Batman, and much more. Down here we've got cards. He's got all kinds of cards. And we got the link to the thing. So I thought this turned out pretty nifty. I'll probably end up buying this one at some point. And, you know, every one of these, you know, a lot of these sellers, they had like anywhere from 10 to 100 items. So I'd have to go all through those and find the ones that really spoke to me and stuff like that, and try to make a ad out of it, or out of them. This one is pretty cool because it's a figurine that I guess is probably about this big. It comes in a crate with the yellow straw stuff, and a newspaper clipping that talks about like this idol or this thing or this man found at sea and stuff like that. Really big into Lovecraft and stuff. Don't call me a Lovecraft specialist. I'm just a fan. How about that? But Own Your Own Cthulhu Stone Idol comes with newspaper and crate, Lovecraft concrete statue, mythos, occult prop. $16. That is a great deal. That is a great deal. And by the way, if any of you happen to buy anything from any of these advertisements, do me a solid and let those sellers know that you bought it because you saw the ad from the comic. You know, yeah, that'd be nice. Mystery derelict found at sea on April 12th, 1924, which is an interesting date because I think, April 12th, 1912, or April 12th, or something like that, was when the Titanic sunk. I think it was April 11th, April 12th, 1911, 1912. I can't remember. A wrecked yacht was discovered off the coast of New Zealand. The lone survivor near death was found clutching a mysterious stone idol of unknown origin. The events were reported in the Sydney Post, of which a copy, along with the original shipping crate, can be provided should you request them. Godspeed in your search. And then we've got this Lovecraft quote: "That is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange eons even death may die." And then I got the link to the to the Etsy down below, which is Brock Create Ride Signs or something, something like that. But I will end up buying that booger at some point. But not right now. Here's another cool one. See this picture of this guy right here? That's Kurt Marquardt. Hopefully I pronounced his name right. He created these scaredy cats. You know, they're here. Friendly yet untamed. I came up with a little slogan for him. Plushy terrors too cute to run from. There's another one. You got Mez Meow Meow, Tricky, Otherwise, and Nightmare. So let me tell you right now, these ads are also in color. So they were done in color first, all of them, before I turned them into black and white. I can't remember who Mez Meow Meow is based off of, but Otherwise is based off Pennywise the Clown. Nightmare is based off of Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street, and Tricky is from this Halloween movie. I can't remember. Not Michael Myers, but like Trick or Treat or something like that. I can't remember. But here's the Scaredy Cats logo. You know, all the stuff I would take from the Etsy. You know, a lot of times I had to edit a lot of these pictures to get rid of their backgrounds and stuff. Very time consuming. This is something that I saw that he had on his Etsy. Ideally, I think what would have been better is for him to pitch why you should be interested in buying the Scaredy Cats. But I didn't want to write him and ask him to come up with something because I'm kind of crunched for time. And I can't do that with every single Etsy creator because I'm already making these ads for them for free. And I put them in the book for free. And I got a bunch of more stuff I got to do, you know, got a bunch of stuff. But he says, I designed my first Scaredy Cat back in 2008 and made a handmade sample to show plush companies. The brand was licensed by Gund, Gotta Get a Gund, and then by Kids Preferred Plush Toy Company. Eventually, I decided to make them myself. Right on, Kurt. Say hello to the artist-designed, original, squishy, and stackable plush stuffed animals, Scaredy Cats, which I think is a really cool brand. It's really cool. I got his Etsy store and stuff down below. Let me answer a few comments before Going further, our most wonderful friend Josh Fox is here with us. I remember Sea Monkeys and Do You Want to Stop Being a 90-Pound Weakling ads. I actually have a spoof of the 90-Pound Weakling ad that's going to be in the anthology. I think I'm going to have to retinker it though, because the language that I used in it wasn't bad language or nothing like that. It's just that it definitely has a slant to it that if you're on the opposite side of the political spectrum, that you may or may not get offended by it, you know. And that's the last thing I want somebody to be, is offended by my comic, you know. I just want them to pick it up and enjoy it. I don't care what your politics are or anything like that. I just want you to enjoy reading the book, you know. So I may have to go back and change my 90-pound weakling ad, you know, a little bit here and there, you know, make it a little bit more palatable for the masses. These are cool. Thank you. This guy here, well, you won't see his picture, but his Etsy, Craporama, who he also has a website. You know, he has a lot of sideshow banners that he has for sale, a couple of cool T-shirts. You know, the banners are cool too. And he has a bunch of some other stuff. He has a comic book. I actually bought his comic, and his design work is top notch. It's really good. It's really good design work, you know. But anyway, weird vintage stuff, fringe, pop culture. See the whole store at www.craporama.com. See this whole banner up top? He designed that. You know, I just, you know, copied and pasted it, you know, or screenshotted it, whatever. I added this little bone finger pointing at it, though. I added that because there was this blank space, and I felt like it needed something. Anyway, so you know, we got the Edge in banner, whatever, and I actually took a picture of the real life Edge in and stuck him beside it because I don't know why. Well, look at that expression on his face. Don't that just say it all? Don't that just say, I want to wear your face? It does, doesn't it? And the shirts are pretty cool. You know, on Harry Forrest, Bigfoot, Carolina's King of Cryptids. Love it. Just awesome designs. Weirdos and Losers of Cult Cinema. And then we got, you know, a picture of Basket Case on the front of it. Very cool. Buy our stuff or die. And then we got this really cool design. And I know you can't see the colors, but you know, it's in orange and black and white. Maybe a little bit of yellow. And it's really cool. I think that might be like his girlfriend or wife. I'm not for sure. I'm not certain if it is or not. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but I am. I am what I am. Didn't you know that all Kentuckians talk like this? All right, here's one. And God, I struggled with this one so bad. But I feel like I did good on it. This is for Jim Boutique, Gimtique. Well, her name is Gimb or something like that, or that's her screen name or whatever. I got the Etsy emblem, you know, kind of let readers know, hey, you can look this person up on Etsy, and hopefully they will be savvy to be like, oh, I'll just type this in. And then also you got the link here that they can type in. You got like this Vampus figurine, which I thought was pretty cool. There's actually a lot of cool, pentagram, devilish stuff that I thought would give the book an edgy look, but it's weird, like well, it's not weird. It's like I have trouble making ads for things like that. Maybe I'm a prude or something like that. I mean, I feel like I would put boobs in an ad, maybe, but something like that, I would have problems with. I don't know, but it slipped in here on this kitty cat. But dang it, this kitty cat is just so cool. Look at those wings. And I'm not putting down anybody that sells pentagram stuff or anything like that. You go sell whatever you want to sell, as long as you're not hurting nobody else. Which I do believe, some stuff shouldn't be messed with, but that's a whole different discussion altogether. But we got 3 wise zombies, and this is supposed to represent the see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. You kind of, he's got a axe where his ears at. And this guy's missing eyes, and this guy can't even talk because he's got an arm in his mouth. We got some Count Majestus. He's a bank, put money in his head. Got this really cool Cogsmith owl. This is another statuette thing. And don't be the only kid on your block without a steampunk owl. You got a coffin board, pin board. And for those of you who don't know what it's for, I didn't even know people made stuff like this. But like, how you get, like in the 80s, people would put pins all over their jackets, like of their favorite metal bands and stuff like that, or punk bands. Well, if you have pins like that, and you want somewhere to put them, you can put them on this coffin that is red on one side and I think black on the other. Reflections of a Poe pewter pendant. Show your love for Edgar Allan Poe fan in your life, or quote the Raven nevermore. See, I'm such a poet with this. So I wrote some of these little sayings on these things. Anytime I see a pretty girl or anything like that, and they have that on their Etsy, I try to put that in the ad because I feel like it helps sell the ad. Don't forget, we have t-shirts on this off-shoulder tee for just $24.13. Creepy girls are the cutest. And remember how I showed you in that folder earlier of like wrinkled and crinkled and aged looking PNGs and stuff like that? I actually used one of those to create this dirty effect along the edges. And then in some cases, I had to erase it, like I erased it from some of the font right through here, so that way you could read it clearly. And also it was all over her face, so I had to erase a lot of that grit off her face, Yeah, I'm giving you all my secrets for making ads that I learned as I'm learning them a couple days ago. This one came out pretty good, I think. Pumpkin Pulp. This is this guy's logo on Etsy and stuff. And, this is pretty much every single thing he has for sale, except for maybe like 2 things. Well, one was a sticker and one was a pen. Not an ink pen, but like a pen. And these are horror masks he's got, that they're like very gruesome, kind of Toby Hooper, Texas Chainsaw Massacre inspired type of mask, kind of bloodyish, goryish looking mask. These things right here are actually Christmas ornaments or Halloween ornaments. I mean, I don't see no reason why you couldn't put them on a Christmas tree. I think that, this one's my favorite. I like jack-o'-lanterns. But let me tell you this, the one thing I really enjoyed, which was, I think this is awesome. This is a statue thing, whatever you want to call it, sculpture from the movie Prophecy. You remember watching Prophecy? Like basically this guy and I think his girlfriend or wife, they go to like the Midwest, and there's this lumber mill in the middle of the forest, and there's like a river and stuff, and they make paper or something. And there's being people that's being attacked or mauled or killed. And so anyway, these people are like environmentalists, or I don't know if they work for the EPA or whatever, but they're there to investigate stuff. And he's concerned about like chemical runoff that's in the water. And the guy's like, no, we've tested the water's fine. And there's like this big giant killer bear that's going around killing people. But anyway, this is a statue sculpture of it. And it's called Katadin or something. I don't know how you pronounce it. But I'd love to own that. That'd be cool. Katadin monster sculpture based on the 1979 film Prophecy, which you can watch on YouTube or Odyssey. Watch it on Odyssey, my friends. I'm sure it's on there. On this awesome sculpture based on the film that follows an environmental agent and his wife filing a report on a paper mill in the river, not knowing that the paper mill's waste made a local bear mutate, causing the bear to run amok in the wilderness. One of a kind item, which it is. It is a one of a kind item, and it's a great film. Really enjoy it. Maybe today, if I watched it, I would fall asleep. I'd just wither in pain from being bored so terribly. But having brain farts here, that's all you need to know. And this is one of the main things that I wanted for the anthology. I wanted classic monster images in the advertisements. And let me tell you, it was hard a little bit to find that on Etsy. I mean, there was people that had classic monster images and stuff, but not a lot of them responded back to my email. And probably one of them reported me for unsolicited conversation or whatever. But these are art prints that somebody's got, and they come in different sizes and different materials that they'll whatever on. Dracula, Night of the Living Dead, Godzilla, King Kong, The Mummy, Pet Sematary, Vampirus. Now, let me go back. Like this, the name of this art print was actually, oh frig, what is his name? Christopher, not Christopher Reeves, Christopher something. Not Christopher Nolan. Oh boy, he was Count Dooku in Star Wars. He's been in all kinds of Hammer films as Dracula, and he played the dentist in the remake of Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory. He was a villain. He might have been, I don't know if he was Dr. No or something, but he was a villain in James Bond 007 film. He played the bad wizard in Lord of the Rings. Let me check the chat. Somebody knows. Sideburns, Josh answered the question for me. Thank you guys very much. It is Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee. Yeah, so like originally on the Etsy it was labeled Christopher Lee Dracula, and this one down here, I forgot what this actress's name is, but whatever. So what I did was like, I couldn't put every single detail in each one of these things. I didn't feel like it was necessary. I felt like the images kind of sold themselves. So I just shortened it down, Dracula. And then I was like, well, this was originally this actress's name and followed with the word vampire. And I thought, well, vampire is not that hot. Let's try Vampirus. I think that sounds a lot cooler. Vampirus. Clash of the Titans. Love that movie. Look at all that. I don't remember this thing in the background, though. This thing is chained up. Don't remember that at all. Oh, I see. I shouldn't have. I kind of messed up. CB messed up bad. But you know what? I ain't going to fix it. I sent this, the guy that I made this ad for, I sent it to him because a few of these people wanted their approval before I could move forward. He approved it. This is not Clash. It has Clash of Titans in it, but it's also got, stuff from other films by this one guy who did awesome special effects. It's not Roger Corman. It's what's that guy that did all the claymation? You remember his name? There was a. This looks like this is an image from Land Before. No, it's not the Land Before Time. It's I don't know what the heck of that movie. It's not Land of the Lost. but the people in the early 1920s or something, they find this island with their submarine or whatever, and it's got dinosaurs on it and stuff. And it's pretty cool. And it's got cave people and we got a let me answer a few of these. Let's see. Made awesome albums. Cool. Anyone interested in seeing the life of real most interesting man in the world should check out his life story. Christopher Lee. Yeah, I remember watching this thing on what do you call it? Is about Lord of the Rings, and they were shooting a scene where the good wizard is getting stabbed in the back by Christopher Lee or somebody. I can't remember. And they was talking about like Christopher Lee didn't like how it was being acted out, because he was saying like in real life that's not how a person does when they get stabbed in the back. And he was explaining like how they just like it's kind of like it's just really quick, and because it's like it takes the wind out of them, and so it's like a shock and stuff like that, because he'd either seen or done stuff like that before in, I guess, World War II. I could be wrong, and some more during that time. So it's interesting. Yeah, he's legit. Oh, let me guys tell you this, and I could be wrong on this, but speaking of 007, I think Christopher Lee's cousin or relative created the James Bond character. And James Bond character was based off of Christopher Lee. And Christopher Lee played a villain in one of the James Bond films. Coming full circle. What do you think about them apples? All right, to answer my question, Sideburns writes Ray Harryhausen. Hopefully I didn't butcher Ray's name too bad, but yeah, so this shouldn't be labeled Clash of the Titans. It should be labeled something Ray Harryhausen Creations, because this is a kind of like a collage of a couple of different things that he did. But man, Clash of the Titans, that was an awesome movie. Christopher Lee. And then down below, we've got the Monster Man graphic, and I got his, where you can find his wares, where you can find all his good stuff. All his good stuff. Only the best. And then, we got one of these last minute ads. This is the Wildcat Anthology soundtrack, Volume 1. I always kind of viewed the Wildcat comics as being a very audio-based thing, like every issue I want to have like the title of the comic. And what I mean is like, how like back in the day, you'd open up an issue of the X-Men or Fantastic Four, and on the very first page or the second page, wherever the credits were at, You know, like let's say, like for example, the Fantastic Four were captured by Doctor Doom, and the title of that story would be "In the Clutches of Evil and the Lair of the Snake." You know, when the hammer falls. Anyway, what I want to do in my comics with Wildcat is every time I have a title like that, it'll be a title. Hopefully, if I can work it out, it'll be a title of a song. And every issue will collect those titles of the songs, and those are actually going to be track listings for a new soundtrack. So anyway, I figured I kind of experiment. You know, I thought maybe I'll make this the cover to a soundtrack for the Wildcat Anthology, and people can go to the website when I make it, and they would be able to download the album art, which they can print out on their own and put in their own CD case and stuff like that. And there will be a track listing listed on the website. You know, they can take a track listing, download it, write it down, whatever, and then on their own go to their iTunes or their private collection and make their own mixtape based off that track listing of the Wildcat Anthology soundtrack. So I thought that'd be cool. You know, it's all legal, beagle, and regal, and ready to go. I thought that was just a nice little touch. You know, we got, you know, music to crush your enemies to. Got this very, very fine print New Empire Comics compilation album. All songs listed are the responsibility of the listener to the purchase. I wish I had more stuff on there to read fast. Go to this website, newempirecomics.com, to download album art and track listing. Yeah. Mamma mia, Figaro. Let's see. So we looked through all these ads. I didn't show you the other ones. You just want to look at some, before we look at the issue of Wizard, you want to look at some of my horrendous writing. Yeah. How about we do this? I'll pull up 2 pages. I'll pull up 2 pages for you, and we'll check them out. So on this page, you know, we've already been introduced to Fish Boy. Wildcat has been fighting the you know, I still haven't. He's Wildcat has been fighting this this Shogun samurai by the name of Solomon Bushido. Solomon Bushido, and he gets the upper hand, beats him up, and then Fish Boy's watching, and he thinks that Wildcat's the bad guy, and Solomon Bushido is the good guy, and so he steps in to stop Wildcat, and then he ends up falling and getting hurt and stuff like that, and then gets into this classic hero versus hero thing. All right, Wildcat, here, catch this. Thump. I hope your plan wasn't to tickle. And I had a problem with lettering this because, like, you know, I feel like the thump needed to be right here, and then the dialogue should have been here. But, like, you know, I didn't want the dialogue balloon to be too far away from Wildcat's face, so it's like, maybe the reader would cut me some slack. Gah! And then we see this thing. And I know it's kind of hard for you to make out what that is, so I make it easier when he pulls it away. Color me impressed. Who packs around an octopus? Kia! You sneaky turd. You're stronger than you look. That's right. It looks like you're all out of steam, Wolf Man. Instead of goofing off, you should have been paying attention to the other hand. Pow! Listen, kid, I ain't no good guy, and I ain't no bad guy either. I don't go around picking fights, but I don't back down from a challenge either. That said, I'm willing to talk this out if you are. Oh, I'm not sure what to do now. I didn't exactly have a plan. I ain't in the hero business, but maybe I can give you a few pointers. People call me Wildcat, but you can call me Dean. Beep, 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 beep. And giving some behind the scenes on this page. So before I get into the nitty gritty of this page, I just want to say that really this page needed to be at least 2 pages, probably 3 pages to get everything in that I needed to get in it. But I needed to get my work done. You know, it was time to move on to the next thing, you know. And so I was like, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did 8 panels to see if I could get everything in it to wrap the story up. And man, there's a lot of word balloons on this, ain't they? But I like to read. Not everybody likes to read, but shoot, why read a comic if you don't want to read? A lot of modern comics are written like they're a movie, and there's very little dialogue, and I tend to fly through those books very quickly, you know. And so it's gotten me to where I only like to read trades from a lot of modern comics these days, because you know you get 5 issues, and that way I feel like I've eaten a 4-course meal. Now I don't think things have to be written, you know, like Chris Claremont, where you know it's big words throughout or anything like that, you know. Not putting down Claremont because he's far superior writer than I am, but I'm just saying, you know. So we see, stop! Look what you've done to my hunk of a man. Beloved, do not interfere. You lay there and be quiet. Jezebel, I should have known you was behind this. That's Jezebel Kane to you. As soon as my man is rested, he'll put you in your place. He's a better man than you'll ever be. Why, he's the leader of a ninja clan. He fulfills me in ways you never could. Jezebel, me and you ain't going to happen. What kind of woman concocts a scheme to try to make a man jealous and kill him at the same time? And just why not? Can't you see? You and I are perfect for one another, or for each other. Jezebel! I'm a lot of things, but crazy ain't one of them. Oh, so now I'm crazy for just trying to get your attention. UFO comes in the frame. What the? That looks like a Krellian spacecraft. Thank God. Oh no, I'm being taken away. What will I ever do? I'm not done talking to you. And then Fish Boy walking away. So long, friend. And that is the end of the Chainsaw Ninja story. Yeah. But I shouldn't have closed that page out so fast, but I had problems with it because I crammed so much into it. And also, like, I needed to actually have more word balloons in it to kind of flesh things out just a little bit better here and there, so that way you kind of get a better backstory and understand things better. But I had to compromise, and that was the best I could do with the page that I gave myself to work with, you know, because I said that we needed at least 2 pages or 3 to break that page up into many pages to do that. But I needed to move on, get stuff done. radio plays in reference to the Wildcat soundtrack. I can use more dialogue, to be honest. Well, that's all you had to say. I'll add more dialogue, no problem. Ava says, music you can destroy your enemies to. Exactly. Adam Lore, the fantastic one, is here with us tonight. He says, hey, CB. I'll tell them, hey, only speak to me. Only speak to me. So we've taken the grand tour of the files from the, from the that thing that I made. What is the anthology? Not just me, everybody made, but I'm just talking about all this stuff. I'll share the photo one more time. One more time for all time's sake for any new viewers. But we had just went through this thing. I explained, I got the Chainsaw Ninjas folder. I got the finished files. Got all the finished files in it. And we got our chapter breaks here. Now we're playing with power. Move over, Nintendo. I should have done this 10 years ago. But here you can see like things that I got for reference. You can see original artwork, things for inspiration, all kinds of this different stuff. I'm showing you the nitty gritty, the deep dark secrets that I don't want anybody to see. And then we got our chapter breaks here. Okay. And these come between, each one of the stories from different contributors and stuff. Got the Wildcat chibi that I made. Here's the Hey Buddy, Hey Skinny ad, 90-pound weakling ad, whatever that I was talking about earlier. That I was thinking about that I was going to sanitize it just a little bit because, if you're not a certain political slant, you may get a little bit offended, and it's not meant to be hurtful to anybody that thinks or feels differently from me. So I was thinking about just cleaning that up just a little bit, because the last thing I want to do is somebody read my comic and like they feel turned off of it just because of that. But then I don't know. But then I feel like a kind of a bit of a puss, like it's my comic. Shouldn't I just put in it when I want to put in it? I don't know. But I will. I think I will clean it up just a tad bit. Not that it has crude language or anything like that. Here's one of these graphics that I made, for t-shirts and hats and all that wonderful stuff. Got a lot of things here. Let's see. Let me show you guys. Oh, wow. Look at that. I didn't even have to jump out of the screen. We're still here. So I was showing this a while ago. These are some of the finished files of the anthology. Here's the Dr. Terror story. And the chapter breaks will interrupt this Wildcat Dr. Terror story. Awesome gray tones by the wonderfully talented R.J. Johnston. And here we got these ads that I made. I didn't make this one. Duckling Star. Sideburns being there. And then here's ads that I made for people for Etsy for free. That goes into the comic book for free, because I wanted that classic horror magazine, classic comic book aesthetic. And I also wanted something to kind of break the book up a little bit more into, to help it flow. And there's like double page spreads. Some people did more than 8 pages. And so if there's odd pages, it'll make things come out kind of weird print wise. And so you need extra pages in your book. So, and, we got the Chainsaw Ninja story in here, which I read a few things. There's RJ's ad. Art, writing, comic book creation, smart aleck, RJ. RJstudios.com. We got Sideburns contribution here in these 2 big boxes ready to be mailed out. I did this just today. I don't think you'll be able to see it. Let's see, because it opens up a new tab. But anyway, you can see it pretty good right there anyway. I thought this turned out awesome when I put the, what do you call it, trade dress? What do you call that stuff when you put the title of the book and stuff? Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. I thought that looked sweet. It makes me kind of feel bad. Like, you know, kind of, that'd been good for first issue of Wildcat or something, you know. But whatever. Got the Chibi Wildcat. Got Jan's contribution. RJ's. Let's see. We got Abe Peters stuff there. Cyburns writes, they were talking about reading length in my Discord and what's the most preferred length you'd want a reader to spend on your book. And that's in reference to when we were talking earlier about like how I had a lot of dialogue in my pages, which makes me want to give you an example of how I like to write. And I'm no writer, so this is just my opinion. Let me share my screen one more time, and because I think this is an interesting topic, you know. So, you know, when there's not a lot of action going on, I like to have a lot of word balloons. I like to have a lot of narration. And you can see in each one of these pages, there's a lot of narration and stuff like that. But what I tend to do is when there's more action going on, the dialogue and the narration kind of chimes down a little bit. It depends. Like if we look at like the prior pages, lots of narration, lots of dialogue. I give it room to breathe here and there. But then we get on this page, and once he starts getting drilled in the head, we start to get a lot less dialogue. And then when we come back, tons of dialogue. And as soon as the action starts to kick in on the bottom 2 panels, the dialogue chimes down. Lots of dialogue here because ain't too much going on. And look, you know, once we get to a action page, we get dialogue here leading up to the action, and then there's nothing really, and very little afterward. You know, him running, so we're not getting a lot of dialogue. Him running, not a lot of dialogue. But once he stops, you know, there's a lot of dialogue. And here we got all this action. Now, the only reason there's not a lot more sound effects and stuff in this is like I didn't know how to do it right and do it justice where it didn't obscure the artwork and mess up stuff too bad. So I just left a lot of it off, you know, and kind of let the art speak for itself. And then here, not too much action going on, so tons of dialogue, and then here, you know, he's woken up and there's just like 2 word balloons, and I wanted the reader to kind of really soak in the environment that he's in and kind of get a gander that he's had a nightmare or what appears to be a nightmare, and so I guess what I'm saying is, like, you know, the more action I have on the page, the more I tone down the dialogue. I may have like narration on there. I think it's fine to have quite a bit of narration during action, as long as it's not so much describing the action, but like it adds poetry to what you're seeing, you know. And the best person I can think that does that is Alan Moore, and I really love how he did it on his run on Swamp Thing, which is very, I can't put it into words. It's just, it's very poetic and very sweet. And I don't mean sweet like Oh, that's sweet. I mean, like it's like, like if I was a wine connoisseur and I'm like shaking around my glass, like, it's kind of sweet. It's got an aroma. It's yes, 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 yes. It's definitely 1830s Chardonnay. You know, well, actually, wine ain't sweet. I never had a sweet wine. That stuff, that stuff is nasty. They always make wine seem like it's the bee's knees, but let me tell you something. That stuff tastes awful to me. But the only reason a person drinks wine is to get drunk. Or maybe I've just had bad wine. Now I kind of broke my own rules here. Like there's a lot of action going on this page. But I was kind of going for something kind of comical, this back and forth between Fish Boy and Wildcat. And then on this page, there's like 100 pounds of dialogue because I'm ending the story. I've just introduced a new character and I'm just trying to explain things. And I don't want to draw any more pages. And so my hand was kind of forced there. And we got some awesome BWSM's story here that I drew. And I think BWSM's is an excellent example of how to tell a story with dialogue and stuff like that, and also he knows when to let the story breathe. And right here we're looking on this page where Wildcat's in the water, he's thinking, he's talking, but when the action kicks in, he's throwing this I forgot what that a narwhal. He's throwing this narwhal at a polar bear, and then you just hear a sound effect, and Wildcat saying a one-liner, and so he knows when to let the music breathe, when to let the art breathe, and then he knows when to pour in the dialogue. He does it very well. That's what you call a writer. See, I get really happy with it. I like to Chris Claremont the far out of my pages sometimes. But I'm also a fan of like directors like, Quentin Tarantino, or script writers Quentin Tarantino both. Because to me, I think the conversations that two characters can have between each other can be as equally as fun to read as it is to visually see a battle between Hulk and one of his arch enemies, like Rhino or something, illustrated by some awesome artist like Gary Frank or Del Keon or John Burns or Sal Buscema. But they were talking about the reading length in my Discord and what's the most preferred length you want a reader to spend on your book. So to answer, I mean, I know it wasn't a question, but for me, I feel like when I want people to read my comics, I want them to spend time reading it. I want them to see awesome visuals. And then when things are quiet and simmer, I want them to have plenty to read, and not just for the sake of having plenty to read. The story has to really call for it. And, but unless you're going to do like 200 or 300 pages and do it in a trade, then I feel like in that circumstances, you can have a lot less dialogue and a lot less whatever, because you got a lot of whatever. And an awesome artist, writer did that. What is his name? He has a YouTube channel. Most people know Mark Crowley. And he had this wonderful book. I can't remember what it's called. It's one of my favorite trades, books, whatever, comics. Something Ghost. Crowley's Ghost. Something Ghost. I can't remember. But anyway, he didn't have a lot of dialogue a lot of times throughout that book. The visuals told the story and stuff like that. But his book was probably about that thick, so he could afford to do that. But I feel like if you have like 20 or 30 pages of comic book and you don't have a lot of dialogue or narration or any of that stuff in your comic, I'm not saying that you have to fill it full like crazy, but if somebody's able to read your comic in like 2 or 3 minutes, and then I feel like that's too quick because um, to me, what I'm trying to put into words is your narration and your dialogue. What that does is it helps slow the pace down for the reader and helps them to appreciate the artwork. Because sometimes when you have very little narration or dialogue on some pages or panels or splash pages, what ends up happening is that reader's not spending enough time on that page and they're not soaking in that visual that the artist spent forever putting together and the colors and the inker and stuff. That's just my opinion. I'm still learning. Like tomorrow I could probably have a totally different point of view where I'm like, there needs to be as very little narration and dialogue as possible. I'm kind of in the middle of it. I'm in the middle of it. I think it's whatever the story calls for. That's the most important thing. As long as the choice is yours and not just a capitulation to the mob. And that's in reference to my spicy remake of the Hey Skinny ad from back in the days. Back in the days. Horror comic concept. Very cool. I'm just like, just flipping through all these comments. Alva writes, yes, CB, agreed. Hey, man, love that. It shows quality of the product, beautiful, elegant, and a story that grabs the attention of the reader or customer. Awesome. I got to stretch. I got to pop them bones. Okay. So, few last things about the Wildcat Anthology, and then I'll treat you to a treat. I will give you dessert. So, to finish up the Wildcat Anthology thing, so you kind of seen a lot of what I have, what I've been working on and stuff like that. So I got to do like the inside cover thing, get that design, letters page, a couple other things. I'm hoping to knock those out. Honestly, I kind of needed to do those now, still live streaming, but I feel like you got to make time for your friends, which is all of you, and my audience, and also, there might be some people that only know what's going on with the anthology through YouTube, because not everybody gets every social media known to man like I do, So I thought it was important to fill everybody in kind of what's going on. I've ordered a bunch of stuff that I feel that I would need to fulfill the comics. So the only thing left to order is the books themselves. And I can't do that until the files are done. So what do I need to get done is like a lot of that stuff I mentioned earlier. And I'm waiting on one contribution to come in, and I think he's nearly finished, I hope. And I got a surprise contribution that's going in as well. And so when everything's said and done, I think this turd is going to be like 130 pages, 124 to 126, but it could go up to 130 pages of comic. It's gonna be thick. It's gonna be a thick thing. So there's gonna be plenty to look at and plenty to read. Oh man. Let's see. Anything else I gotta add? I want to be finished with the book Let's see. Today is Sunday, so I want to be done by no later than next weekend. I really, really need everything to be done no later than next weekend. But we'll see. I'm not going to hold myself to that. I mean, it's going to be done in September for sure. Absolutely. 100%. 210%. If you add 210% times 11, you divide that by the 6th power of the 10th, you round it off to the nearest 10th, and you swirl that around with the energy times mass squared, throw it into the orbit, and then have it thrown back to you, and it enters your consciousness and your chakras all right, then that comes out to 100 times 2 divided by 3. You square it off to the root of 7, and that's going to get you 110% certainty that this book will be done in September. And I am like 300% certain because I got triple Z's in mathematics in school. 200 and 300% certain that in October we will be fulfilling the Anthology comic. It's going to be in the mail. People's going to get it. No. So, unless I get flattened by the car, I'm dead, something like that. That could happen. If that does happen, I leave it up to R.J. Johnston to get a hold of my loved ones, to get a hold of the files, and just finish the book. Post. What do you call that when someone's dead and then somebody else finishes the work for them? Post whatever, because it's all there, whatever. But anyway, has my blessing to do that. I trust him to do it. And then everybody raised like a GoFundMe for him to pay him money for doing that. That would make me happy. Make sure he's took care of. But I am not dying today or anytime soon, hopefully. So it will be done in October. It will be done in September. It will be out in October because that's what I put on the thing. And I feel pretty good. I've been watching a lot of self-help videos, getting all that self-help. I'm absorbing it, and I've come to like a really cool realizations, and something is like switched in my brain. It's really cool. Look at me. I got the crazy eyes. You ever seen those in one of those memes? They say that if you can see the whites in the top of somebody's eye and the whites down below, beware of that person. They're crazy. They're going to cause you grief. I better squint so we seem relatable. Cyburn says, did you just quote Scott Steiner? It doesn't matter where I get my material from, sir. Okay? I don't like you calling me a plagiarist. I'm telling you right now, 100 to the 10th degree, 2/3 of that speech was me. Okay? Doesn't matter what percentage came from Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. Doing one of the best promos of all time. And people only know about it because it just like drifted around on YouTube. Nobody and their mother watched it on TNA when it was on TV, when TNA was still a thing. Yummy dessert. And that's in reference to what's coming later. So the book's coming out in October. I'm excited about that. Let's talk about the self-help stuff. And but before I get in that, I'm going to go pull up dessert and get that going. Because, I'm pretty sure you get bored looking at my ugly mug. So I've got this issue of Wizard here for you to look at. We'll flip through this. I mean, we're not going to flip through the whole thing, just what I guess is the interesting parts. But, I've been watching a lot of these guys that are essentially they're salesmen. A lot of them are ex-salesmen. Some of them are current salesmen. Maybe they just never really gave up the salesman part of it, but they learned a lot about life, and a lot about what brings happiness to life is the ability to be in the right mindset and also to communicate. And communication is one of my biggest hurdles in life. I think it's the biggest hurdles in everybody's life, is the inability to convey what it is that you want in life, to say that you want something. Some people can't even say what they want. They just assume that everybody knows what they want, or they're just too scared to ask for what they want, you know. And in all these self-help videos that I've been watching, it's like, this mentality of you are what you think you are and stuff like that. I've always believed that and stuff like that, but there's something that just clicked here recently that really stuck with me. And if I can explain it to you in less than 5 minutes, please give me that time, because maybe it'll do something for you too, or maybe not. Maybe it just sounds like a bunch of gobbledygook, and the Steiner promo will make better sense than that. But working on this anthology has been very stressful for me, and it's just been but it's also been extremely rewarding too, and everybody's been pushing me in this direction and that direction. I'm extremely thankful, because it's helped make me better in a lot of different ways. But it's like the negative part, and a lot of this is self-imposed, is like let me think. I'm trying to give you a good example. I'll probably have to come up with something off the top of my head, but like a lot of times when I'm working on something that I care about or passionate about or invested in, I'll be like, okay, so I've got like 24 pages, which is the truth. I have 24 pages of filler, ad content, and chapter breaks, page breaks that I need to put in the anthology. It has to be in there. This is stuff that this is not, filler is not the right word. This stuff has to be in there, and I have to have these 24 pages. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's a lot more work to do. And it's like, it has to be done. I hope that I can get it done. I hope that this and that, but then you think about the worst case scenario. Let me tell you something. It's important that you think about the worst case scenario of what can happen, so you can prepare yourself for it, and you'll kind of have a better idea on what to do if it happens, right? But my problem is, I'd be like, okay, I got 24 pages I need to do, but there's a strong possibility that I might not meet the deadline in time. So, and it's like, it's like the thing is, and I want you to think about what I just said. It's like, I got 24 pages that I need to get done, but I don't know if I can meet the deadline. And so that last part is true, in the sense that maybe I won't. But what is the point in having that negative feeling if it's something that could happen anyway? You know what I mean? It's sort of like, it's the equivalent of like, you are going to, you're like a daredevil, and you're Super Dave or something, and you're going to be on a bicycle, and you're going to jump the Grand Canyon. There's a good chance you're probably going to fall in the Grand Canyon. But you decide, see how that word "but's" kind of evil? But instead of just jumping it, because you are a daredevil, that's what you're doing. You pull out a knife and start stabbing yourself in the legs. You're stabbing yourself in your own legs what time you're pedaling. And you're stabbing. And and then you fall down into the hole of the Grand Canyon, you know. Why did you stab yourself? Why would you make that worse? It even more painful than it already is. You made it painful all the way down. And who knows, maybe if you wasn't stabbing yourself, maybe some Hail Mary miracle would have happened where somehow you would have flipped on the back, but you held on firm, and then you landed on your wheels, and you only like broken your shoulder and your knee, and you're largely alive and okay. But no, you had to be a self-destructive ass and stab yourself in your own legs as you were going down because, I don't know, you went psychotic. But that's what it's like, you know, having these little negative thoughts. So when you're working on your project, like, I got 24 pages I got to do, but I don't know if I can meet the deadline. And then something just snapped in me. Not like Macho Man Randy Savage, not like Ted Bundy, but no, it's like something good snapped in me where it's like, it's like, instead of when I have that doubt, and the doubts are real in the sense that they could happen, but it's like, why not say I can? What hurts in saying I can? So, like, for example, I have 24 pages that I need to get done. I can get it done in September. I can get it done in early September. What's wrong with that? You know, I don't overly promise that or anything like that. And I feel confident that I can do it. And you notice the more that you say I can, the level of confidence that goes up, the level of whatever. I mean, try it. I encourage you all to try this. You know, when you have doubts, realize that when you have a doubt in your mind, I really want you to listen to this. When you have a doubt in your mind, what you're really saying to yourself is, I can't. That's what you're telling yourself. I have 24 pages to do, but I can't meet the deadline. So, you know, I've been saying to myself, not just that, but a whole bunch of things over the past 3 years. I have 24 pages to do, but, you know, I don't know if I'll be able to meet the deadline. What I'm really saying when I say that is, I have 24 pages to do, but I can't meet the deadline. That's what a doubt really is. A doubt's just a masked, veiled way of saying I can't. So why not replace that negative feeling with a positive one and say I can? What's the harm in it? And so it, you know, I just want you just to walk away with that. I don't know if that's valuable to any of you that are listening, but for me, it's been kind of liberating. And also it's been a change in mental attitude. You know, I've spent 3 years working at a job where I made $700 and something every month. That was my take home pay, which is like below minimum wage and all this other stuff. It did have benefits, and the benefits are supposed to kind of make up for it, but not really. Is a big rip off. And the thing that I said for 3 years, and it was good that I said it, but, you know, having said it in the beginning and not got the result that I wanted out of it, which was a raise, better benefits, because, you know, sometimes you have to vocalize things, let people know there's a problem. But I spent 3 years saying, I don't make enough money. I'm not making enough money. This is too little money. But you see, that phrase of words is negative in itself, and you kind of get stuck in that. You're kind of trapped in that, you know. You are what you eat. You are what you say you are. You are what you think. And in the last couple of months, my mindset has changed. And now I say to myself, I want more money. See how that's different? I'm not making enough money. It sinks to, I want more money. And the weird thing has happened is I now work at a job where, you know, now I'll be making, instead of like $700 a month, it's going to be more like $1,200 a month. I have 2 interviews lined up and one possible new job where I'll be making $2,000 a month. And this all comes from a change of attitude of shifting from I don't make enough money to like I want to make more money. And I know it sounds crazy because all this is very, very explainable. You could say, well, Brian, because, or CB, whatever, because you done this, you done that, and done that. That's the reason you've seen these changes in your life. But you have to understand that you have to have a change of mindset first before those changes can happen. But anyway, I can talk a lot about it, and I don't want to bore people about it, but I'm getting ready to talk a little bit about this wizard issue soon. But this is really changing my life for the positive. I'm seeing results from it, basically the 2 things that I want you to do as an experiment and try this. If you're not having success in your life like you want, do these 2 things. The first thing that I want you to do is when you start to have self-doubt, start to say, I can, or at the very least, I will. Okay. So if you know deep down you can do something, instead of letting that doubt take over, erase that in that end of the sentence that has the but on it and put the word I can in. If it's something that you've never done before, at least say to yourself, I will. Okay. Because that's still positive in itself, because at least then you're still going to try it. And then the second thing I encourage you all to do is stop framing things in the negative, which is kind of related to the first thing. Because how I spent 3 years of saying, I don't make enough money. I don't make enough money. I don't make enough money. But I never once said, I want to make more money. Because once you start thinking, I want to make more money, what do? You actually start looking for ways to get more money, whether that be jobs or opportunities or whatever. I mean, you were looking for jobs and opportunities before, but was you really? You know what I mean? So just try these 2 things. Try to frame things in a positive way and also get in the habit of saying, I can. Something affirmative, something that's good. Because, I believe in you all. I know you can struggle like I do, and I see the next Jim Lees, Tom McFarlane's, and Dale Keon's out there, even though if you don't see it in yourself, you have great artwork. And I know 5 years from now, the stuff that you're going to be doing is going to be phenomenal. And some of you are just like right now, like life is kicking you in the balls or whatever you got. It's kicking you hard. And you're like, why am I still doing this? Why am I still working on this thing? I'm not seeing any results from it. I'm not getting views, likes, whatever, comments, whatever, but you got to stick to the grind. You got to stick to it. I promise you're going to be better tomorrow than what you are today, weeks from now. You got to quit making goals. I mean, still make your goals. Okay. But you need to start, making plans that are like 10-year plans or 5-year plans. Stop, like what I'm going to do tomorrow or next week, whatever, like 5 years. In 5 years, I want to try to get to this level. 10 years, get to this level. Because once you start thinking in terms of years, you're going to get better yields and better results and stuff like that. And the pressure is going to drip off of you. It's not going to be as heavy. So that's what I recommend. And, just stay strong, guys. So let's read a few of these comments before we get into Wizard magazine. Crazy eyes like overly attached girlfriend. That's in reference to me talking about if you see the whites of somebody's eyes. I always thought that girl in the crazy eyes meme, she pretty girl, It's probably not a good thing to think, though. I mean, if that was like a legit crazy person, to find that person attractive, that's not good. Love this issue. Had this poster on my walls for years. Awesome. Yeah, I chose this Wizard magazine purely for the cover. You know, I was like, I don't even know what's in the interior because I can't remember. CV, is this a scan of Wizard on Archive? Yes, it's on Internet Archive. So if anybody wants to read these for yourself, Internet Archive. They only got like maybe like 30 issues on there, but you know, it's 30 issues that can't get anywhere. I hope at some point someone uploads the full Wizard collection, combo collection, hero collection. Apparently, I didn't learn this till Wikipedia told me, but there's like 2 hero magazines. One is a gay men's magazine, and the other one is a comic book magazine. So that's kind of weird. Let's see, Super Dave. Yes, silver helmet, onesie jumpsuit with a red cape, gloves, and boots. I miss Super Dave. He was awesome. Good affirmations. I plan on meeting this deadline. Going to do what I got to do to meet this deadline. Exactly. It's going to happen. That's my mindset. You know, I'm going to tear the planet apart to make this happen. I mean, like Galactus will have nothing on me. I will devour every inch of willpower to manifest this book from something that is mental to physical, and it's already over halfway there. And it's going to be birthed into this world in violent birthing pains with a stench that is so unbearable, but yet you can't look away. It's going to be like a car wreck. And then what will come out of that is something majestic and awesome, like like Cthulhu rising from the ocean. Reframing, good stuff. It's a very good pep talk, Sylvie. Well, I don't consider it a pep talk. Okay, I consider it like, to me, it's like, I feel like what I just told you all is the equivalent to I snuck into the teacher's desk and I got the answers to the test. I'm going to get straight A's. I'm getting straight A's. I know I'm getting straight A's. And I'm sharing those answers with you. So you can get straight A's if you choose to. So you can either cheat, this is technically not cheating because this is just, well, who knows? Maybe it just depends on how you look at it. But in this poorly worded scenario, hypothetical, you know, you can either choose to look at it as cheating or just trying to get ahead to get a good grade so you can get that piece of paper and get a good job. So that's the way I look at it. Words of wisdom right there, or right here. CB, hopefully we can help each other by creating multiple income streams. Understand. Yeah, that's the way. Passive income. That's it. I want to get to the level of passive income where all my little devils of creation are out there and they're just collecting all those shekels for me. So we are looking at Wizard magazine. How about we look at it in style? Let's see. Boom. Okay. We can go a little bigger, can't we? It's too big. Oh man, these were the days. 0 month. They had this event called 0 Hour. It's pretty cool. It's like growing up, I could not appreciate Infinity Crisis or whatever it was because I was just I wasn't even pubescent. I wasn't a teenager yet, or maybe I was a teenager. I just I was still like not mentally fully aware of my surroundings to really appreciate it. But 0 month was when I was hot into collecting comics, and you know, I wasn't a big DC guy, but I got a few of those books and they were pretty good. And And quite frankly, I need to go back and collect these, read these. That'd be fun. It's shocking. The Adams family values Super Nintendo game. Bart Sears from Root and Babe. There's Nightman. Look at there. Page 86, Ultraverse. You know, one of my to-do list is in the future. Whenever I decide it's the right time, I want to make a mental junk food magazine. And it's going to be just like Wizard. I'm going to find some wonderful people who can help put this thing together. I'll probably do it all myself, though, in the beginning. I read every inch of this thing, from the letters to editor to the letters column, all of it. It was just always fun. Ultraverse, Ultraforce. Great George Perez art, colors, everything on this looks nice. Inks are solid. Writing is solid. Gerald Jones. Felt like he got in trouble for something. I can't remember what it is. I could be wrong. I don't want to say any more than that. Great writer. Good writer. When you burn an alien, you got to expect heat. John Byrne teams up with 1950s suburban America in Aliens, Earth Angel. A tale of one small town with one big problem. It's a one-shot story in glorious, chest-bursting full color. What? What? Hang on a second. You guys just hold your britches. This is crazy. I've never heard of this. Let's see. Earth Angel, was that what it was? We go back. Earth Angel, yeah. Wow. Oh, this is cool. I'm actually flipping through it right now. Oh, very neat. Very neat. I don't want to. I know you can't see any of this. I've got it pulled up on a website. Very nice. All right, let me keep flipping through here. Team 7. Aaron Weisenfield. What happened to that guy? He was a great artist, and he's super detailed and all this other stuff. He did the Team 7 books. Where did he go? You know, why did he just get burnt out on comics? He didn't pass away, did he? Time Walker, book that I never read. It's probably good, by Bob Hall and Don Perlin. Industry vets right there. The time is right for a new kind of hero. Oh, I did flip through it a little bit, and I wanted to read this to you as I read it, because this came out in 1994, and Mark Silvestri, he was part of Jim Lee's company called Homage Comics before it became Wildstorm, and he left, and it caused a big stink. And Jim Lee really resents him, probably to this day, over it. It says, Silvestri leaves Homage. Image founding partner Mark Silvestri is leaving the San Diego, California-based Homage Studios, which he shares with Image cohort Jim Lee for a studio in Los Angeles. The move, according to a press release distributed by the Silvestri's Top Cow Productions, will aid Top Cow's growth in different media. Press release also says that Silvestri's departure will have an effect on his relationship with Image Comics or Lee, or with other Homage crewmen like Scott Williams and Wallace Portacio, Williams would continue to ink Silvestri's pencils art for Cyberforce. Oh, that was the other thing. Silvestri was trying really hard to get Scott Williams for his new studio that he was opening. And I think that was something else that really irked Jim Lee. This is all according to Rob Liefeld, which I feel is a reliable source on this. I wasn't there. He just went there. Nobody was there, but he was there. He talked to the key players. Valiant Vision canceled. Valiant says it will discontinue the Valiant Vision process in all of its books due to a contract dispute with the manufacturer of the film used to make Valiant Vision glasses. What? The dispute, Valiant says, is not over. Any license fees but undisclosed contract clauses. Valiant says that the Psylords were probably colored with the Valiant Vision process for the first 6 issues. The manufacturers of the Valiant Vision film were unavailable for content. So we need to get those glasses, and we need to try out Psylords by Valiant Comics. That's pretty cool. See this, if Wizard was still around, maybe we could be down here somewhere, because we got Aardwolf Publications, AC Comics, Fantagraphic Books, Galaxy Novels, Aris Comics, Kitchen Sink Press. What's this other one here? Malibu, but whatever. Mirage Studios, Now Comics, Top Comics, Warp Graphics. I guess that's it. Yeah, we could have been in there. Is the blood back? Artist Rob Liefeld returns to comics, but will his bold new style be enough to win fans back? Look at that. Kirby Lives. David and Goliath. Yeah, I want to save this stuff for later. I'm going to save it for later. I bookmarked it. Bam. Let's see. Brainstorm tactics and strategies. Yes. That's awesome that some of the scans of Wizard are online. I have most of the physical copies, but good to have a reference online. Yeah, I've gotten to where I like to really read a lot of stuff online now, because it's just like convenient. Bam, bam, it's there. I can find it. It's filed away in a simple way, Usually, a lot of my comics and magazines, they're in disorganized piles, but I know where everything's at, or used to, Had a subscription during the period of 35 and 37 are some really good issues. Oh, that's cool. I never really done subscriptions much. I remember Ziploc bags during the 90s. They had, which might have been around 95. I'm not for sure. They had a campaign going on where if you bought a box or two or something, you got a free subscription to various Marvel comics for like 4 months. So I got those, and I was able to get a 4-month subscription to Fantastic Four and Captain America, I think. And this is around the time that Heroes Are Born was launching, so I got all those books starting out and stuff like that. It was awesome. I think he ended up getting an ongoing subscription to 1 or 2 of them. Yeah, after that. So that was pretty cool. The stuff is permanently embedded in my mind. I love it. Not cheat. Memorize the textbook. Will apply everything that achieve it, and it will write the new textbook. Exactly. Exactly. I'm starting to talk like Daffy Duck. Exactly. All right. So, yeah, gang, that's pretty much where we're at. You know, the anthology is coming out in, will be finished in September, and it's going to be coming out in October. I'm going to try my best to have a few extra goodies, but I can't really promise anything um, for most everybody, and for the backers that really open their wallets. I'm going to try to make sure they're took care of. Because the thing is, I want people to know that they're appreciated, and that I want them to feel like they're welcome to come back when I do the rebooted first issue of Wildcat, and my other projects. And there's a lot of cool stuff that's come out of this. I haven't messaged Sideburns and RJ Johnston yet, but I've had somebody approach me and was asking about them, about looking to hire them to work on their projects, and I gave the person links to their Twitter profiles and all this other stuff, and I was trying to remove myself as the middleman because it's not fun being the middleman. And this guy was a writer, and he's wanting to find artists, getting started out. And I really, upfront recommended those guys because they're very prompt, and they've got a big body of work behind them and stuff like that. I would even recommend them over me. Not that I'm high or mighty or anything like that, but I'm just saying they're really good at getting stuff done. So I want to get around to it. I need to private message them and ask them, did that guy get up with them? But that's pretty cool. That somebody just not even had the comic book yet has saw the artwork that was in the anthology featured on the Indiegogo page, and it's like, hey, who are these people that you're working with? Who are some of these artists? And so that I love that. I love like how stuff's coming out of that, and I love the fact that in my case, people nudging me to do these interviews and stuff, that I'm meeting new people. I'm getting better with doing interviews. Still got a long way to go though. I'm getting better at pitching Wildcat and narrowing down what the essence of it is, and getting people interested that have not heard about Wildcat whatsoever, and why they should be invested in the character. Why they should give it a look. Man, so much cool stuff. I'm excited. I know I don't seem like very excited right now because I'm a little tired. Shoot, I've been having to get up early in the morning. If I get this new job, it's going to be like even earlier, so that's going to suck really bad because I'm a night owl. I'm a vampire. It's going to be forced to take like some type of weird injections to where I can be in the daylight. Very frustrating. But with the potential new money that I would make, assuming it works out that way, I'd be like a millionaire. So that's going to be cool. Actually have real spending money to fix things, and money to pay bills and pay debts and all this awesome stuff. That's going to be cool. That's going to be something else. Swinging back and forth like some old timer already. All I need's a pocket knife and just kind of be whittling, little chunks of wood coming off of there. What am I making? Am I making a whistle? Am I making like a little Indian totem? Native American totem? Be politically correct. Am I just whittling to whittling? Or am I making a steak for all the vampires out there? But there's a lot of cool stuff going on right now, and Anthology's brought a lot of good things, and I hope it brings a lot of good things to everybody involved, and I hope that when people get it in their hands and read it, that they walk away and enjoy it. You know, I do have fears and doubts. Now, to be fair, you know, there's nothing I can do at this point about it. You know, the book's done. I just, there's a few extra pages I need to add. Not nothing to draw or write, but book's done, and it's like, when people read it, it's beyond my control now, and it's like they're going to enjoy it. They're going to get something out of it. They're going to buy it next time. They're going to chuck it in the trash. They're going to give it to a friend. They're going to leave it laying. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to hang it up on their wall. Who knows? But it's interesting, just the whole thing, all that work goes into it, and you see something coming out of it, and then you see things come out of it that you never expected, like I never planned on doing a variant cover, but here we are. I got a variant cover, and the thing looks really cool. I never planned on doing like letter box art for the cover, and there it is. I never planned on all these variations of doing like a Wildcat fan club logos and stuff like that, but there it is. I mean, all these cool things, like making a chibi sticker. Never quite planned that. It just kind of sort of happens, It's a snowball effect, like the snowball's behind you, and it's and you feel the weight of it behind you. You have to run faster and faster before it runs you over. But now I'm at the point to where like I'm getting all Buddhist or something, and then I turn around and I look at the snowball. Instead of running from it, what I do is I just stretch my arms out and I let it run me over, and I become one with the snowball. Me and the snowball are one and the same now. I am the avalanche. I am a force of nature. I want to share with you a random thought. Speaking of Buddhist, I was talking to a friend the other day, and I think a lot about the society that we live in, and yes, it is broken, but there's like things that were never fixed, that were never perfect to begin with, and I wonder about these things, and we all wonder about these things, and it's like, I probably won't talk about this much on the channel. Maybe I'll make a separate channel, be one of these guys that has a avatar disguises my voice or something. Who knows? I don't know. Whatever. But I do want to start at some point putting out issues that interest me, that I feel could make people's lives better. Like, I'd love to see like a workers' rights bill where it's fair to your employer and fair to the worker, to where, somebody that works in a restaurant or anywhere else, does any type of work, can have the option to work a 4-day work week and get off 3 days, because I think getting 2 days off is not enough to recharge, I think, if you had more days off of work, you'd actually look forward to going to work because you get bored, and you'd be more productive and stuff. And there's a way to do that, and I've actually figured it out. I think, I'd have to make a video to lay out my case on what that is, and a way to make it fair to the employer where they're not getting ripped off, and make it fair to the employee, and basically just give employees the option to, like, If they want to keep their overtime, they can. But if they want to waive that, and the extra hours they work can go toward like getting off early or getting another day or something. I can't remember how I done it, but there's like a whole big thing. But regardless of my ideas on it or not, I feel like the 40-hour work week is antiquated. I think we have to change things because I don't think human beings are meant to work like peons. I don't think we're meant to be lazy either. There has to be a happy medium, But the way the culture's going, you see the way the kids are, and it's because the parents are overworked. Parents ain't home to raise the kids. TV is. TV raises the kids. And then I see problems in law enforcement and the fact that they're not getting the proper training that they need to do the job. That's a very difficult job. And that's what it boils down to. You're not getting the proper training. And there's a couple other things. I look at things in so many different avenues and aspects of life. And I have all these ideas. Maybe they're terrible ideas, but it's like, what I think to myself is like, we can do better. We can do a better job at things. And we got to, a lot of times when we have something go wrong in our society, we point fingers at one another. And then we not so much chant, but we basically share the same platitudes and slogans and the hollow gestures and the talking points. The talking points, where it's all about silencing the other person, or silencing the other party, or silencing the other group or faction that thinks or acts differently from you. But yet neither group, after the conflict or the situation's over, nobody solves anything, But I guess what I'm getting at in a long-winded way, people's trying to wonder, where are you going with this, CB? It's like, well, I don't know. I just want to start throwing my ideas out there. I'm not saying doing it on this show or anything like that. But yeah, I just I want people to start having a discussion, actually talk about things, and try to figure out honest to goodness solutions. Because I started thinking about something. Let's say hypothetically you're a Buddhist. I'm not a Buddhist. I consider myself a Christian. Not the best Christian in the world, but whatever. Who knows? For all I know, I go straight to hell or something when I die. I hope not. I believe I'm saved. But irregardless, the point is, I got to thinking about Buddhist. And I think one of the beliefs in Buddhism is that when you die, there's a potential that you get reincarnated, that you come back in this life. Now, it doesn't mean you come back as a person. You can come back as a grasshopper, a flea, a dog, a cat, a microbe, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know how it all works. But you could, in the beliefs of Buddhists, come back as a human being yet again. And I was thinking about that, and it's like, man, do Buddhists really believe that? Because I feel like if they did, why aren't they trying to make the world a better place? And here's what I mean by that. If you truly believe that when you die, you're going to come back again in this life as a whole new person, a whole new baby, whatever, wouldn't you want that future version of yourself not to endure the pains that you have today? So if your life is stressful right now because of factors that seem like they're beyond your control, wouldn't you want to do something to change it? Wouldn't you want to do something to make it better? And if you're a Buddhist, wouldn't you want to make your future version life of yourself, whatever, make that life better by doing that work today? And it's the same thing as like, it's sort of like, people that are Christian. If you truly believe in an afterlife and that there's punishment and reward in afterlife, hellfire and stuff like that, if you truly believe that, wouldn't you want to go around saving as many people as you can so they wouldn't have to suffer? We got a lot of people in this life that claim to be many things, but we don't have a lot of people that actually believe. That's sad, irregardless of what their faith is, But I just in this mindset that I have right now, I think I want people to have more of a discussion on things. I think that would be interesting. I'm not saying on this channel. It'd probably be like a whole new channel, starting from zero subscribers, all this other stuff. But we got to learn to talk to each other again. We got to learn to talk about the hot button issues, to see if there's a middle ground could be had. If there's no middle ground, agree to disagree, whatever. But try to come up with honest to goodness solutions. And there's a lot of things that we can come together on. That's not a partisan thing that I feel like, we can figure out, and then, come up with these things, send bills to, create bills, whatever, send them to your legislators so they can take credit for it. It doesn't matter as long as it proves the equality of everybody's lives. But not everything can be solved by the government. A lot of our problems are societal, and there's ways to solve that too. I happen to believe faith is one of the biggest ways. But there's, other things that circle around that too. But, interesting. Evan writes, Amen, CB. I don't think it was a reference to any of that. It was something that I was talking about earlier. And this awesome expression. I forgot what it meant, but I'll think of it here in a little bit. Sic parvis magna. I feel like it's like, is it a little at a time? I cannot remember. I honestly cannot remember what it is. So I hope I've regaled you all. I hope you've had a good time. I hope it's been fun. I hope I have not alienated my audience in my generalized talk of hot button issues, which I didn't really get anything hot button. It's very general. I think next show what I'll end up doing is we'll go over the Wizard magazine. I got it favorited. I think there's 2 cool articles that I would like to read with yins. And it might be a little bit because I really, really need to finish the Anthology. Yeah. Elbow drop. So it might be a little bit before I talk to you again in this show. But I just want to update you on everything, express my love and thanks for everything. And really appreciate you being there for me. And I hope you are there for each other as well. And I hope you are having a wonderful weekend. And I believe you'll have an even better future because you got it in you to make that happen. And I always like to end the show by saying, please be the tide that rises all ships. Be the change that you want to see because it starts with you. I believe that if you truly have righteousness on your side, that mighty forces will come to your aid. Carpe diem, my friends. Seize the day. And until next time, I will see you in the next video. Much love. Watch this outro video here, thingamajigger. Well, hello everyone, this is CB Smallwood, and I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And if you want to support this channel, then please head on over to newempirecomics.com. Again, that is newempirecomics.com. And the most important thing that you can do right now, other than hitting like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, is do this. Click on the Join the Mailing List button so that you'll be the first to know when our comics are being crowdfunded, exclusive free goodies, news, and more. You can also click it here, which will take you to the mailing list. Sign up, just put in your name, your email, hit subscribe, and you are done. So if you want to be notified when I launch a crowdfunder, or whenever I'm giving away something for free, which I may do on occasion, this is the way to go. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and thank you for your support.
There's been too much violence, too much pain, but I have an honorable compromise. Just walk away. Join me and give me all your subs. Give me all your views. Be part of the indie comics revolution, and I will spare you. Do not be part of the problem, but be part of the solution. Listen to Lord Humongous. The indie comics revolution is underway. So walk away from the big two. Just walk away and join the revolt.